And welcome back to another episode of Not Your Mama's podcast. And today's special guest is Cyn Hannah. We love Cyn so much that we asked her to come on again. And so Cyn Hannah's passion is empowering people to achieve tangible results so they can say, I love my life. A transformational life and a business coach, Cyn teaches clients her formula for success, outlining the steps she took to move from tragedy to triumph, which can move you from a good life to a great life. Cyn has shared the stage with likes of internationally acclaimed transformational teachers, Mary Morrissey, an actress and and a wellness advocate, Merrill Hemingway. Her entrepreneurial spirit led her to numerous successful ventures prior to becoming a coach, including working in Hollywood as a television producer and being a member of the Directors Guild of America. Owning a high-tech recruiting firm focusing on the Silicon Valley. Cyn, welcome to today's podcast. We're so excited to have you on. And if this is someone's first time meeting you, can you give us a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, well, yes. Well, thank you for having me back. This is really fun. So thank you. I knew for quite a long time that I wanted to be a coach. I knew I had this inside of me that was like, I want to help people move their lives forward. I also had this dream that I wanted to be an inspirational speaker, and I was terrified of public speaking. So I used to say, where did that come from? And I used to also say, but I don't have a story. And then tragedy hit, and I was a single mom, and my only child was my son. And at the age of 21, he died. Mm-hmm. And it was from that I realized that life is short. All of a sudden, there it was. It was a personal, devastating loss that made me realize that our life is finite. In the physical, our life is finite. And so what do we want to do with this? And I realized I want to go do what I love, and that's making a difference in people's lives. And so from that, I quit my job and I started to coach. And it sent me down this path of study where I learned what it takes to be happy, what it takes to be successful. That is what I now teach all my clients.
Mm-hmm. That is, you have such an amazing story. And I love how you help guide people. I think you have such great, you add such great value to people if they're really trying to seek and own their power. And today, I know we wanted to talk about confidence. I know it's really important for someone to feel confident and be confident to kind of go after your goals or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in your life. So what can you talk to us about gaining confidence?
Well, first of all, we can never outperform our self-image. So we all have the self-image of ourselves, and that's going to keep our results level at, our results at a certain level. And so we want to be changing that image up. And one of the ways we can do that is by gaining more self-confidence, because I love starting with something I call it the results formula. Okay. And that is that our thoughts cause our feelings. And we know this because when we're feeling wildly about something, we're scared to do something, we are not feeling confident. We might be feeling less than. And our thoughts cause our feelings cause our actions. And then our actions or inactions create our results. Mm-hmm. And so everything starts with our thoughts. So if we are not thinking confidently, we can't possibly be feeling confident, which is going to affect what actions we will take that will create different results for ourselves. So confidence is very important. And I have a few ways that we can uplift our confidence that I could share.
Perfect. Please share.
So the first one is what I call comparison despair.
Okay.
This is when we're comparing ourselves to other people and we allow ourselves to feel less than. Mm-hmm. We feel diminished. We we feel deflated, lack of confidence. So have you ever walked into a networking event and possibly you look at everyone, you go, oh my God, these women are so successful. And you start to feel small by comparison.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. People scrolling on
or-
social media, comparing themselves to what they see. I mean, and I think it's now more than ever, people are, comparing themselves, especially we have like these devices in our face all the time and looking at all these like picture perfect things, and you can edit your photos. And so, yeah, I think more than ever, people suffer from that syndrome.
And you can see how many people have, how many followers they have, and you can say, well, I only have this many, or you might even just be out and you look at this couple who looks like they're having fun, and you compare their outsides to your lackluster relationship or the fact you don't have one.
Exactly.
And then we start to feel discouraged, less than, maybe even resentful. And that's a low frequency that is not going to help move us forward. So what we want, one of the ways we can move out of comparison despair is to turn it into celebration energy. And what I mean by this is that we look to the people who have all those followers. We look to the people who are doing what we want to do on a larger level. And we think, if they can do it, I can do it. It's possible. And we start to celebrate their success rather than comparing ourselves. It's like they're leading the way for me.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, when we celebrate things, we're at a much higher level of frequency, and it's not really about us then. So we're keeping our energy up there, we're keeping our thoughts up there, and it can make a very big difference.
Yeah, I like that. You just change your thinking to celebratory instead of, the comparison, and just like, oh my God, I'm so happy for this person. I mean, honestly, when I even heard you say that, it's like, I even felt a little uplifted, when you're talking about celebration and celebrating other people. And I'm like, yeah, that is, we got to celebrate. And it's so much better to be, looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. It's not easy to switch that mindset, but life's a party. Celebrate it. And might as well do that with.
Go for it. And one thing I like about the glass half empty, the glass half full analogy, which is a good one, is what if we looked at it as though it's refillable?
Oh, I've never heard of the refillable. I like that one. That's good. That is awesome.
Yeah, so we don't have to have half glass. No matter what, we can fill it up. Yeah. This is an abundant universe. It's an infinite universe, infinite possibilities. So the second key that can really help increase our confidence is to remember past successes. So our memory is a powerful tool. It's one of our 6 mental faculties, but often we use it to bring ourselves down. We remember our failures. We remember the last time we tried something new and it didn't go well. Instead of remembering our successes. And when we thinking of past failures, how do we feel? We feel contracted. We certainly do not feel confident. So if we remember our past successes, we bring those to mind. We even can write them down, and then we can go to those. And as we're noticing throughout the day a success we're having, and these can be small. It could be, I showed up for this podcast today. It could be, I got out for that walk that I said I'm going to do 3 times a week, or whatever it is. And we celebrate the success. And what this does is it puts us in alignment with more successes, because like attracts like. And now we're on the frequency of success. So I remember when I first moved to California and I was starting my coaching business, I did not know anybody here. And I had not been a speaker. And I started calling places to speak. And I didn't realize they want basically a resume. There's a 1 sheet. Do you have a speaker's reel? And do you have this? And do you have that? And I thought, no, I don't have any of these things. And I was getting really discouraged. And I felt, like this, like, I'm not really a speaker. I haven't even started speaking. And, they're used to these professional people. And I was starting to get very contracted, and I wanted to go sit on the couch for the rest of the afternoon and give up for that day, which might have then become the next day and the next day. I don't know. But what I did was I started stacking all my successes, and I thought, you produced TV commercials and you went and you learned all of that from scratch.
Yeah.
And all the things that I had, my recruiting business, I learned all that high technology, without knowing anything and without any real lessons from anybody to be a high tech recruiter. And I just started stacking all these successes in my mind. And I got back on the phone, pumped up, and I got my first speaking engagement.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know we can't just go sit and dwell and have the pity party for ourselves, like it's good to, that was awesome of you to be able to recognize like the state that you were in, and then you changed your thinking, and then you were able to go out and, achieve that goal that you were trying to do that day, which was, get your speaker role. I love that. That's a great example of, the power of the thought, the power of the mind.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I go back to the results formula: thoughts, feelings, actions, results, because I have to remember, change your thinking. That's going to change how you feel. And then I have to be willing to take the action steps. But when I'm feeling up, better, expansive, I'm more apt to be able to take some action steps, new ones, different ones that will create different results for myself. Yeah.
Real quick, I just had a thought. It's like people can pick up even like through your voice and on the phone, like your energy levels, like humans are a lot more intuitive than we give ourselves credit for. And whether you know it or not, like you're still picking up like vibes from someone. And if you're not feeling hyped about yourself when you're trying to sell yourself to get, let's say the speaker position, people are going to hear it. And they're going to know,
yes.
Even like with
yes.
like social media posts, if you take a picture and like, you would think it's just a picture, they're not going to feel your vibes through it, but they will. They can like sense, something like behind the scenes, like a lack of confidence or, a lack of knowing that you're good at what you're doing. People pick up on those things. And so just changing like your energetic mind frame can make all the difference in the world with like even your business, your personal life, how you show up in photos, how you show up on the phone when talking or selling a product. So I just wanted to make that point. Like people can really pick up on your energy, even just talking on the phone and your voice.
No, it's absolutely true. When I coach people, I either coach on Zoom or the phone, whatever's their preference. But when it's on the phone, I can hear in their voice what's going on. Are they expanded or are they contracted? And energy, everything is energy. You're absolutely right, Cristina. And we can pick up the energy there, but just think how we pick up the energy unconsciously. Because what about the times that you have been thinking about a friend and then all of a sudden they call you? I mean, they're getting the energy. And then they get the little nudge or the thought of, oh, Cristina, haven't talked to her in a while. And they pick up the phone and you go, oh, I was just thinking about you. That happens all the time.
Yeah, all the time for me. It just happened the other day. I was thinking about my friend and I was like, God, I haven't talked to her in like a week. And then all of a sudden I like got a phone call literally like 2 minutes later. I was like, hey, how are you?
There's the energy. You're sending it out and she's picking it up. Now, is that conscious? For most of us, not. But it's also like when you walk into a room and you can either feel the tension, like, if maybe it's just been a fight, but no one's talking, but you feel it, or there's all this love and the room feels warm and inviting and good and nobody's talking. I mean, you're absolutely right. Because we absolutely pick up the energy from people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, you think, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say the universe picks up our energy and it's going to match it.
Totally.
It's not here to say, I'm going to change it because this isn't a good one for you. It's going to match it. So like, the law of attraction, like attracts like. So if you're on the down, contracted, lack of confidence, you're going to attract more of those sorts of opportunities, situations into your life versus when you're feeling high, happy, expansive, you'll attract the different opportunities.
Yeah. And I remember, I think we spoke last time and how, like, let's say you're thinking about like a car, like a red car, like all of a sudden you start seeing the same car, like on the road. It's like, if you're thinking negative and like things always happen to me, you're going to start noticing all of the bad things happening to you. It's like the same way, like I don't really know what the technical term of that is, but if you start kind of noticing all the good things that happen to you, you're going to start seeing all those good things. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a flip coin. So it's like, if you're going to be thinking, oh, why does this always happen to me? You're going to notice all the why is this happening to me scenarios throughout the day. And then you're just going to just keep compounding it and adding more and more of those scenarios. And then you're just going to be feeling negative and not vibrating at a high, vibrancy, and, feeling a lack of confidence. Like, why aren't I lucky? Why don't I feel like I'm getting what I want? This doesn't happen to me. It happens to other people. But the simplest thing can be the hardest thing sometimes to actually do.
No, it's true. It's true. It's simple, but not always easy. And that part of your brain is the reticular activating system that is designed to go seek what you've programmed it to look for. And so when you're absolutely right about all of that, and that's why we want to be looking at our successes so we can attract more. And then another way that can really help us to increase our self-image, that can help increase our confidence, is to use affirmations. So our self-image really exists mostly at a subconscious level. Excuse me. Napoleon Hill, he studied the most successful people of his time in the book Think and Grow Rich. So many people know this book now. And he discovered that there are 13 principles for success. And one of those is, he called it autosuggestion, but that's the same as affirmations. And so it's powerful when we say an affirmation, and when we start it with I am are the most two powerful words that there are, because what that does is it's focusing your energy. It's getting your I am a structure of energy of whatever you put after that. And so using affirmations, and in the ancient days, 40 days was considered the time that it took for transformation, and really just meant a long time, but whatever the days are. So it's great if you want to start using some affirmations to say them every day for 40 days.
Do you have any affirmations that you like to say, or that you think would be great for the audience to start using in their practice?
One of the ones I really like is that every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. And I like that one because you can believe it. It's not just I am healthy or wealthy or successful, or I am this, but you can believe that every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So I really love that one. Another one that I think is really powerful is I love my life.
Yeah.
And we speak that with that energy. And because there are parts of your life, even if you don't love all of it, that you probably love. But what that does when we say, I love my life, is it puts us in alignment with loving our life. So we'll start to see the places we can change, and the ways we can, or how to change them, what to move towards, and see the opportunities to move towards that. So that one I really love. My confidence is growing each day, and my results show it. That one's pretty self-explanatory. I deserve to have everything I desire. I am compassionate with myself as I grow. I'll throw a few more out. So if the different ones will resonate with different people of where they are and what they need. All I need is within me now, because everything you need, all the confidence, all the love, we're tapped into it. It's just about connecting to that. And so all I need is within me now. And so or make up your own, I am, so whatever it is that might speak to your most, your biggest fear, I am deserving of the life I love, whatever it might be for you.
Yeah. No, I like those. And the one that I really liked was I am gracious with myself as I grow. I mean, I'm totally butchering how you word it. You worded it elegantly.
I'm compassionate with myself as I grow.
Yes, I am compassionate with myself. I like that one, really resonated with me, because I I'm like my own worst enemy. I can beat myself up and like, God, like
Yeah.
made the mistake again, like,
Well, that's when we really want to be dialing up that skill of noticing what we're noticing, so
Mhm.
that you're noticing every time you're beating yourself up, because then you're on that contractive energy, and and so that you're noticing it. It's not just a pattern that runs in the background, and then you change it. So then you put in, I am compassionate with myself as I grow. And I often suggest people use the best friend practice, which is, if you were speaking to your best friend, how would you talk to her? So
Yeah.
maybe you did something, you didn't do it as well as you want. If that was your best friend, you wouldn't have said, God, you were awful. That's just terrible. You would never talk to her that way. So then you start to speak to yourself as, hey, you got out there, you did it, and next time you'll do it better, or whatever you might say.
Yeah. So what else
Yeah.
do you have any other keys? Is there a last key that we can do to help
Yeah,
raise our
sure.
confidence?
Yeah, I've got one more. And this is, act before you're ready. Because so many of us are going to sit back and go, oh, I've got to rehearse, I've got to research, I've got to be so good at this until I will go do it. And you're never going to reach your goals if you're not in actions. You're not going to get better. And one of the things that will increase our confidence is competency.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you do something, the more you practice, the more competent you're going to become. And that can't happen without, getting off the couch and maybe going and falling on your face. But
Yeah.
I think that's a win, because if we're trying something new, no matter how it turns out, the celebration is in, I tried something new.
Yeah.
And because what we're doing in those moments when we're trying something new, we're getting out there, no matter what the outcome, we're staring down the fear. We're staring down the paradigms that are wanting to keep us right where we are. And that is a huge step for everyone to take.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think once you burst that bubble of the initial, like, just go out there and do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you start getting in the rhythm and in the flow of things. Like, you just realize, oh, what was I so scared of?
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
oh, I like made up this fear in my head, like I just went out and did it. Cause I sometimes would suffer with that too. Like, oh, it has to be perfect. I can't, I have to really think about it. And then, I just ripped the Band-Aid off and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and just do it. And it's scary, but you got to start somewhere, like I'm not going to get to like my goals if I'm sitting on my couch feeling sorry for myself. You got to just put your big girl pants on and like just try it. And it's never really failure. It's just learning. You fail if you actually stop doing it. That's an actual fail.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
readjust and you think about it and keep going forward, it's never a fail. It's just a learning experience. And that's what people have to remember. Mistakes aren't failures. They're learning lessons, and they're probably the most valuable ones that you can learn. And it's better to learn when you're on a smaller scale than if like making mistakes, if you're like, to the masses of the audience or something like that, learn while you're small, so it's not such an impact of a mistake, I would say, but it's not really a mistake, anyway, I'm just rambling now, but I
Well,
definitely love that lesson.
yeah, and one thing that you said was, you just notice it's just the fear. And what I find with clients is often they just have fear of the fear.
Yeah.
And so when they're willing, like you said, to take the action step, they realize, oh, what was I so afraid of? And it was just the fear of being so afraid.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Cyn, those are really great key points that someone can take away to help boost their confidence. I know that you are so generous. You are offering a sign up for an overwhelmbuster and discovery call. Would you like to explain a little bit more about what that is for the audience if they're interested in signing up?
Yeah. One of the things that I find that people often holds them back from being able to move forward is they go into overwhelm. And when we're feeling overwhelmed, we can't put one more thing on our plate. We can't get done what we want to do in a clear-headed way. So I created something I call the overwhelmbuster, and I have the steps to how to overcome overwhelm. And it's on my website, so there will be a link, I think. But
yeah, I'll have the
it's
links
Cyn
and
Hannah.
everything down below in the
Okay.
in the show notes.
Okay, so you just go to my website, cynhannah.com, and right near the top, you sign up for Overwhelm Buster. What this will also do is let you receive my tips for mindset mastery. And it will also let you know when I'm giving free master classes, because I give them on a regular basis, because I really want people to learn these principles because it's so life-changing. And then if you are interested in discovering what would your wonderful life look like, the life that you would absolutely love. Most people aren't clear on that. They think they are, but I'd love to offer you a complimentary discovery session. We'll talk on the phone for about an hour, and we'll look at where you are now, what's not working, and then I'll help you come up with your vision, which is the starting point always for changing our life. Mm-hmm. And then we'll come up with a way that you can start to move towards that. And that is a gift. And that you can sign up on my website where it says, let's talk, just click there. And there'll be a discovery link set down below as well.
Well, perfect. And I'll have all the links below here as well, so you can get in contact with Cyn. Thank you so much again for coming on. This was another wonderful episode. You added so much value. We love you and appreciate you. And thanks so much for listening, guys. And we will see you in the next one.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Not Your Mama's Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.